Offense, they always lie.
They always lie.
It's what you should remember at all times, and even when you've been doing it for years, sometimes you just forget and you go, wow, you guys are just lying. But it's going to be Montreal here in the back here on the defense. 3-3, high ground in the back.
And the spawns did not lie too heavily. They are running this triple DPS comp, running the Mercy, running the Xin. Guru going to be on that Pharah. So it's all about this early poke game for Bermuda.
And for Bermuda, Guru needs to do what Naga was doing back on Eichenwald, controlling the tempo with the rockets, getting good pressure, not getting poked in return. And Montreal, you see Nomi right now, a bit off on his own, just trying to be in a spot where he can delay, buy time, but it's going to be hard for him to sustain for a long period of time here. Who are you going to decide to invest in over to the Pharah, but just eating a ton of damage in the process? Going to be getting demeched, and Bermuda right now slicing and dicing their way through the Montreal defense, but they do lose Shu.
And not only that, but HamTornado, extremely weak. Right now, it's OG, Guru, and Ultimate versus the world. Their sustain is not very high. They don't have any ults up just yet. Montreal going to be backing off, just charging up their cooldowns, getting some heals onto Nomi, but really nothing Bermuda can do to touch point.
Now, Bermuda is going to have the spawn advantage here. It is a rather long walk from B back to point A. Guru, good isolation here on the Nomi, needs to finish it off. Meanwhile, though, respawns from Montreal starting to get back in. Logix gets on the Pizza Demon, and Bermuda had a bit of an edge. Ultima Web now getting some traction into the back as Tracer. They'll look at Guru. They're not looking at Ultima Web, but Montreal's buying a lot of time.
OG gets the res on a Pizza Demon, so I think there's going to be the flip. Bermuda now should be able to get this point. Ultima Web needs to live. The rally's out for Naga. The longer this fight runs, the closer Shu gets to EMP, and they really need EMP. Goliath isolated, has trans.
Goliath in danger, but gonna transcend before the pickoff is complete. Nomi hacked in the middle, and Shu EMP ready. Bermuda still struggling to do critical damage. I think they want to try and save the EMP if possible. Guru certainly working towards that. Shatter gonna be connecting here from Nomi, but fall through, not necessarily there. Bermuda, not only are they gonna take point A, but they do get to save the EMP for a point B attempt.
That's a huge save for Shu, keeping the EMP up, especially while Guru is close to another barrage. The EMP barrage combo going to be really, really strong here on second. Nomi making a swap onto Winston, a little bit more mobile, able to contest these triple DPS comps a little bit better than the Reinhardt, where you just sit on point and take shield damage.
Well, now you have it. Guru coming in on the top, barrage ready, an EMP in the wings, waiting to set it up.
No bubble for Nomi. Guru, he's on point, still pressuring. A lot of health down early for Montreal.
Nomi down, just chunked in the face by a rocket. The EMP still in reserve. The barrage coming out, and there's still no EMP. It hasn't been needed here so far. Guru gonna fall, but the resurrection likely to come in. The transcendence being used. Should be able to cover OG as he looks for the res. Guru back into the fight. Shu still holding on to EMP. Bermuda, they've done quite a few pickoffs here. That 99.3%. The EMP still getting saved even as this goes on, but I do wonder if they should have used it earlier in the fight.
They've used the EMP very late in the fight, and essentially getting the solo EMP on Nomi, who didn't even have ult. The ult usage. Bermuda getting an incredible amount of ticks. I mean, 99.3. So very, very close to that full cap. But my goodness, the ult usage is not exactly what they needed.
I mean, this is where it's fair to remind everyone, you can't take it with you from round to round.
No, you cannot. And now, in return, Montreal in a great spot because they forced me to do the swap, but there's a portal very far ahead right now.
So Montreal able to reestablish for a time. Bermuda still working with 4 minutes and 15 seconds in reserve. Montreal going to open up here. Self-destruct right to the back. Not going to connect quite in the way that they would have liked, but it does force Bermuda to back up just a little bit more. Montreal a bit back here, pressure in from Bermuda. And Goliath transcends in reserve as Bermuda kind of weighs their options.
I mean, Bermuda right now is just trying to build up ults. They need to start pressuring the point, trying to find a pick, maybe try to support, get his portal out of Montreal. They need to get his portal out.
For now, Montreal just holding back, and the support ult is going to come out there. Goliath didn't like how low everyone was getting. Montreal going to be charging forward off the Transcendence. HamTornado getting focused, but healed up all the while. Going to be dropping the Shatter, knocking down Goliath in the back. Tensa going to be barriering to try and keep people alive. Bermuda thinking this is an opportunity. They come in the Transcendence of their own. HamTornado swing the hammer as they move on forward. Nomi out of the fight, 6 on 5.
If
now
Logix
for Bermuda
down, there's going to be grab here. Grab. Logix has it. Right now,
Looking
a lot
for
of people down, though.
Well, he's going to grab. But as you say, there's quite a few down. The self-destruct going to be covering Bermuda as they're in a bit of danger there. And they get the cleanup they're looking for. 90, or they're in the second tick. They're moving up forward. And this time it doesn't stop at 99.3. It's a full capture. Bermuda finishing with decent time.
Bermuda putting a lot of early shield presence onto Nomi there, breaking the barrier, forcing the trance from Goliath. And then a great shadow from as well. Gets 2 people down, including Goliath, and forces the beat from Tinsa. So they aren't able to use it to be aggressive. They have to use it reactionary. They're on the ground. They're not moving forward. So despite the disadvantages in ult economy for Bermuda, by getting those 2 support ults out of the way early and not allowing them to get any value out of it, they've equalized the fight.
Well, I would say the key point when you think about how all of it's set up was where Bermuda, they were getting pretty good poke damage in. You saw there was a point where Montreal, about 3 to 4 people were close to 50%. And what does that do? Goliath looks at his team and goes, this is too much. I am going to respond and transcend. But Montreal isn't able to fully flush out Bermuda from that transcendence. They're not able to dive in and finish out the fight. Bermuda instead actually gains a bit of an edge in ult economy there. And eventually, just from high pressure where they were out-poking Montreal, able to take point B, and they do it with a reasonable amount of time left. 3 minutes in their bank.
I would say that's more than reasonable. That's a solid time bank. I think that's reasonable. Be 2. 3, I think, is pretty good. So now Bermuda on the defense, going to be running the 3-3 with on the Winston. So that means like they're not going to be focusing on point. They're going to be getting a lot of creep damage as the entry for Montreal as they approach the point, trying to get that primal early.
And the key here, of course, is you look at as he's looking for the early cleave, and you sort of judge him based on what you see there, is that if he's able to get up to about 25%-ish off this first round of cleave, it's pretty good. If he has to leap out early, not so much.
See Montreal getting ready to make this first rotation, going to this far right side. He's got about 25%.
Yeah. He hit the first benchmark that you're looking for as a Winston, and he even gets a bonus! Logix out of the fight early, and now this is the dream for Bermuda. You can just keep Montreal locked in here, and eventually you go for the 6v5. Gonna be living the dream here as the Winston, gonna be leaving with a cool 70% off this first team fight.
I mean, he's not only getting that 70%, but just they get the early pick, and Montreal, they can't leave, so it's just more and more time bank built off the clock for Bermuda because they're stuck in the room. They don't want to leave. They don't want to push. So it was just a double whammy.
It is absolutely one of the worst parts of the map that you can get stuck in for an offense, and Bermuda had a very good fall through to boot.
And they've continued to build the ult advantage, not just the primal, but just their overall ult bank. Bermuda are looking in a very solid position. They get to commit here on this rotation.
Well, I got news for you. Gonna be pretty mad here. Goliath out of the fight early. And you know what? As a result, he might cool it. Doesn't have to get angry. Doesn't need to invest the primal this time around. It's easy cleanup for Bermuda, but they lose Guru. Just when you think things are going well, Nomi gonna drop the shatter. Moving forward, still under control, decides he doesn't need the primal here just yet. Heavy cleave damage, but Montreal actually going to be surviving at least a bit as they disengage.
That shatter was 100% worth getting the trance out of Pizza Demon, but in return, they still lose their rally because Naga use it to keep the rest of them in the fight.
Eating a lot of damage early, using the primal in reserve, going to the back, trying to isolate the Zenyatta as he goes over. Now Goliath, he has Transcendence instead, going to be using it in response to the Graviton as it comes out. And now primal down, isolated in the back. And now it's 6-on-5 for Montreal. They might have gone through the worst of it here from Bermuda. He's just holding back on a barrier, one that can be matched by Tensa.
And Logix now has grabbed. Tensa still has that beat as well, like you just talked about. Montreal holding the point. They have the Reinhardt there. going to be coming back on that Hammond for the recontest, but Montreal still firmly in control.
Well, it's enough here to make Logix go, you know what? I'm going to use the Graviton. They use the Graviton to get down right away. Goliath, though, out of the fight. Transcendence being infested by Bermuda. They think that they can bring this back. Montreal, though, saying no. Barrier and rally being used here for Montreal. They're on the brink. Are they going to get knocked off? OG gets Naga right off. Ultima Weapon just whip shots Nomi away. Bermuda might be on the verge of bringing this fight back.
Bermuda they have come back. That grab comes out, and they're not able to clean up the tank line very well for Bermuda at all. despite Logic investing that grab. Then they all chased, they chased the coast side on Volskaya first, and the combined boost of OG and the flail from Ultra Web get 2 people off the map.
So Bermuda, who is in a rough spot here, they're in a do-or-die situation, their season on the line. 35 seconds away from taking Volskaya.
Now Bermuda, really, they're going to be just looking to get this grab. What's really crazy, Logic, despite investing the grab, is equalized with Guru, 86%. So he's going to be looking to get this grab off early, considering that Pizza Demon and OG both don't have either support ult.
Heavy pressure early. Nomi's shield taking a walloping as they try and go forward there. Instead, Nomi steps up, drops a shatter. was on the ground, but able to get away. The effects of the shatter now gone. Logic's to drop the grab right on top, catches OG. Bermuda trying to equalize, a self-destruct. Gets Tensa, but it might not be enough. Montreal still with an edge. Graviton, though, out the other way for Bermuda. They're looking for the follow-through. Transcendence in for both sides. Naga out of the fight. Bermuda fighting tooth and nail. But Montreal, is it going to be enough here? Logic's charged up, moving forward, looking to melt. Gets down his counterpart and Guru, but gets blown. Shu right in there. Bermuda fighting. Montreal starting to fall in power. With the Umte's knocked off the side. Tensa gets rid of the hamster problem. And now, last moment efforts here from Montreal. Naga coming in on the Tracer. Bermuda, they hold in the end.
Shu is a hero, CP. Shu is a hero. Incredible. Yep. Shu is so good right now. He got 3 frags in that fight, gets out of mech, still manages to, he's stuck in Baby D the entire time, gets his mech back, but decides not to remech because he's doing so much on Pistol Diva anyways. He decides to stay on Baby Diva because he doesn't even need the mech. Shu surviving throughout the entirety of that fight, cleaning up the frags when he needs, getting those low health kills. He was the actual hero right now, and a great beat, a great support usage, I should say, as well, for Pizza Demon, keeping them alive throughout the trance and getting the cleanup frags after.
Very close fight towards the end, and as you mentioned, Heroics coming in from Shu towards the very end, and look, this is Bermuda fighting tooth and nail, season on the line, where even if they do end up losing, as we go to Escort here after this is still important, where any miracle scenarios where Bermuda ends up limping in the top 6 are going to require some form of map score tiebreaker in all likelihood. So still a very important map win here, but it's not over yet. They were able to take that, and now we've seen here in Overwatch plenty of times where teams are able to come back and reverse sweep scenarios. So look, still anyone's series here, especially if Bermuda can play as clean and calculated as they did there on that defense.
And also, more importantly, I think it showed that Montreal didn't feel, they were decisive. They were getting caught in those rotations the entirety of the offense. They were using ults when they didn't need to. They weren't getting value out of their ults. And despite Logic still putting up a decently, I should say, good Zarya performance, the rest of their team wasn't getting ult value. They weren't getting to point. Most importantly, they needed to get to point, and they just weren't getting there in time for the majority of the map.
Also, I feel like they were just stuck in this sort of cycle where they're looking at going, man, we almost have the point, and then they don't, and then someone gets picked off. But they're still sort of being teased thinking, it's real close, we'll get respawns coming back in. But every single time, Bermuda stealing it away with a good play here or a good play there. But now, we move over to Rialto. It is still the Rebellion with an advantage, but there's a chance now that Bermuda could swing this back and bring it to a map 5.
Maybe Montreal gets lost in the Bermuda listing, getting ready to get the reverse sweep. A very interesting team name, I have to say, picking Bermuda.
Also, you think about the just geography involved here. It is quite a distance between Montreal and the Bermuda Triangle, where it is very clearly what Bermuda is named after, given that you take a look at the logo. That's what
I was wondering if you're going to get. I wondered if you're getting to a point there because you said we have to look at the distance, and I was trying to figure out where is he going with this? Where is he going with the Bermuda-Montreal geographic distance? And they were just like, yeah, they're the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes, you know what? I'm not gonna say it was the most well thought out segue, but it was a segue.
It was a segue.
Nonetheless,
it was a segue.
It's enough to get a few D-Illuminatis in chat, and sometimes it's all you need. But it's gonna be Montreal on attack. Bermuda holding up here on top. See how aggressive they want to be. Usually defenses don't stay up here for too long, can be risky, but for now, Bermuda pretty good aggro on this defense.
I mean, they're being aggro, but they're letting Shu be the one to contest card. He took a lot of early damage, had to back up. Here comes the engage now for Bermuda. Umte so low.
Umte's low and yet still in the fight, but the problem is, as he gets low, Guru tries to compensate. They end up falling. Logix with 3. Of course, it's Logix on the cleanup, but it was also Nomi getting in there. Very good hammer swings towards the end. Just a bit of a collapse from Bermuda.
All that early presence onto Shu, who's the one contesting point rather than Umte, means they had to back up, put some resources into Shu that they couldn't give to the rest of their front line, and Montreal were just cleaning, doing so much damage. Logix is just abusing the chaos.
Bermuda charging back out. Umte, 93%. Montreal looking to move forward with the rally early, and they use the rally to isolate Umte. He's out of the fight. Logix again, 2 more killing blows. And right now, if there's a scoreboard in the game right now, I gotta tell you, it'd be mostly Logix.
Logix putting up numbers. That's gonna be to clean up the early rally from Naga, just guaranteeing the push. And Montreal potentially might be able to catch these spawns here.
Montreal just doing a very good job of keeping Bermuda back. Heavy pressure, no threat of the recontest on the point A, and you just take that grab.
Oh, you definitely take that grab.
Yeah, you let Bermuda grab you there. What does it matter? Your respawns are right there. If you're Montreal, you are happy with what just happened there.
You have to be extremely happy because now you can feel extremely confident in getting value out of your own worlds and knowing that if you grab, there won't be a grab to stop the follow-up.
Because for Bermuda, that was one of the lowest value engages they could have had. You think about the time bought per ult invested, not a whole lot. Whereas if Montreal, if they're able to win with the ult disparity here, they're going to get a lot of progress.
They are, and on top of that, Ultimate Web pops rally. Montreal just backs up, chooses not to engage.
Oh, so close.
Very close.
Nomi just getting saved by the guardrail. That's why it's there, saving some lives. The hammer, though, going to be coming down. No guardrail for that. Guru out of the fight. Man advantage now to Montreal. They just easily cleave on through. The momentum in their favor. And to the previous point, a fight win here for Montreal. Going to be getting them a lot more than Bermuda's last fight.
They are. Realistically, Bermuda has plenty of time to recontest this. Bermuda's goal should be trying to get Logix to grab, maybe get the combo out, and then they'll have double support ults or even the grab combo of their own. So still not a terrible engagement for Bermuda.
Logix getting fed there. Fire strike right into the shield. High energy. Graviton ready. And Hui going for the boom on the side. Setup. Finds Umte out of the fight. 6 on 5. It was a very nice setup there from Hui just to rotate around for the grab against the wall.
And now with Umte gone, that's just going to be the cleanup frags for Montreal. They're playing their shield, using Nomi as their focus fire target, sort of the lodestone, I guess, the rod, the divining rod. I don't know. There's other terms for
the
focus.
Rosetta Stone.
The Rosetta Stone. Maybe not the Rosetta. I don't know if Rosetta Stone's a focus. You know.
I don't
Lightning
really
rod.
know where you're going here. I'm just trying to throw out things that might be in the realm. What is in the realm is that Montreal saying a very quick time here through point B, point C, the only thing left to contest.
That was a great engagement. Guru decides to go with the extremely aggressive trance up on high ground. Goliath, or not trance, but grab.
Oh, they look for it, but Montreal,
Umte,
they have the cure. 2 down immediately, right into the hammer of Nomi. Goliath back on the payload. A kick to the Diva and a D-Mech to boot. Montreal, they get through there. 3 minutes, 52 seconds left, and arguably one fight away.
And I sort of agree with that early aggressive grab because they could get that trance out of Goliath. But Umte tries to shatter as well, gets booped, gets cleaned up, and loses the shatter. So now they don't have it for this fight, and shatter is a really impactful ultimate on this last.
Montreal moving forward. Graviton all set here for Logix. Shu, it's been a while since you had dinner. This would be a good Graviton to eat. Matrix used. Moment of opportunity here for Logix. Instead, going to be waiting. Graviton going to connect, but they lose Nomi. Right before the fall through. Going to be Lessard. Shu, the counter bomb in the back. As Montreal was looking for it, they weren't looking for that.
Great counterplay from Shu. That was, I mean, using the defensive bomb, I think is a very, very valid strategy versus grab. We see it all the time. He has a lot of value, especially with Nomi going down early for that presence. It means there was no shield for the rest of Montreal to even hide behind. And now Bermuda in a pretty good spot considering that they can continue to build up the rest of their ults. And even despite being down in support ults, they're ahead in the grab, ahead in the shatter. Or not ahead in the shatter, but ahead in the grab. And
the important part here for Bermuda as well is that at least prevents Nightmare scenario of just too quick of a time to deal with. Montreal getting stopped significantly for the first time. Umte moves forward, steps up in the neutral, drops the hammer. Was fall through going to be there? Montreal just able to sort of slink their way out of that fight. Goliath has time to build the Transcendence, and now Montreal bringing it back the other way. Guru can invest the grab, though, as Bermuda says, no, this fight is still going to be ours. You've transcended perhaps a little bit too early, as Nomi's going to fall.
What an incredible bunny hop fight there for Bermuda. It really just set up off the back of Shatter, who rounds the corner, gets the beat out early, gets the presence onto Montreal, forces the trance on return, so he gets both support outs out for Montreal, allowing Bermuda to kite back and get a better grab.
Makes it very easy for Guru towards the end to end up being the sealing deal on that fight. And now, only 1:50 remains. Montreal losing quite a bit of time. again, dropping the shadow, but this time it's significantly less effective. Caught in the grab on the other side as Montreal takes 2.
Oh, and also Pizza Demon investing the trance to try to keep Bermuda alive in that fight. But not able to keep anyone. It's tough to repeat the same thing twice, especially when it's a big play where you round the corner, drop the shatter. So now Bermuda going to come back into this fight. They're going to be close to combo. And Montreal, they don't have the portals up just yet, so they realistically need to worry about this Bash Shatter.
I'm not sure they can wait for the combo here. I think, given what he's done before, Shu might just throw out the grab right away. But Montreal, they're giving them a bit of time, so Guru very well could get the grab set up. But of course, this is where you look to Hui, where if he could eat the grab, it would be game winning.
It would be game winning, but there's the shatter from the side. Down on the ground.
Hui's down early. Here comes grab bomb here from Bermuda. Graviton in, so is the bomb, but Hui's bomb striking deeper, striking quicker. Montreal 3-1, looking for a way back over. Bermuda wounded here on the point, trying to buy time for respawns that might not be coming. Off the point, and Montreal finish things out here. Not the time that they were necessarily looking for with how quick points A and B went. Bermuda coming alive towards the end. But Bermuda now still looking at a somewhat grim scenario. They need to finish out the map at a minimum and still have to look to extra rounds if realistically they want to keep their season alive.
That was a great setup from Nomi, who goes from the flank, drops the shatter, gets bubbles out extremely early for Bermuda, which allows the bomb combo and the defensive bomb for Hui to be a lot more effective there. And because of that, Montreal can live, and even more impressive is Nomi is able to survive that point. So good pocket from the supports from Montreal. So Bermuda has to be watching those flanks, have to be watching for those sneaky Ryans, I should say, getting your bubbles out.
The gondolas just keep on going. Whose RNG are they going to save next? The world might never know, at least until we get through point A. Bermuda going to be here on the attack this time around. Montreal to the defense. And you look at both teams here, don't really expect either team to really vary too much from the 3-3 mold as we look in. Ultima might look for a shot in the very beginning, but highly doubt he'll stay on the Widow here.
Yeah, I don't think this is a very strong Widow map anyways, even if you were to stay on it. So definitely just going to look for the spawn shot, then make the swap back onto the Brigida.
It's funny you say that because I remember when Rialto first came out, people used to run a lot of Widow. Like, there was sort of the collective insanity where people thought, this is a really good Widow map, and then it just faded.
It has some nice high ground differences and some okay sight lines, especially from the second to first. But I think overall, probably not the best map due to the geometry.
So he's looking for the quick early peak. Realizes that, you know what? It's probably not going to happen. Perhaps I should swap over to the one and only Brigida.
Brigida. There's Bermuda. Look how far forward Bermuda is actually while Ultimate wasn't even there. Maybe a little bit of punch could have come out from Montreal, but not recognizing.
So Bermuda on the attack right now. Reasonable map progress, though Montreal has essentially given it to his Nomi. Gets very low, so much shield pressure. Pressure on the HP. Barely able to turn the corner, but while they do that, Logix off the flip side punishes Guru. Nomi gets some time to lick his wounds as Logix moves forward. A beast on the hunt.
Logix getting so much value right now. He's just walking forward. He won't stop. The rest of Montreal going to move forward, getting these cleanup kills. And they get that great early shield presence onto Nomi, break the barrier. His health is so low, he has to back up. But Guru, he's sitting there in front of the cart. Logix is shooting him, and there's no peel, there's no armor pack, there's no barrier that comes out for him. And Logix gets too much value.
And it was really good for Montreal there, where yes, Nomi got a lot of pressure, but he got out in time, and Logix realized, hey, if you're putting this much shield pressure on, you're not going to be looking at me.
That is very true, and Bermuda also, on the flip side, should have recognized that while Nomi's backed up, they need to be a little bit more aggressive there.
So Montreal in a good spot. A combo certainly ready. Rally used early on to fight. Logix looking for his opportunity. Shatter gonna be coming down from Nomi. Puts Umte and Ultimate Weapon on the ground. Hui looking for the fall through the bomb up to the sky. In the middle of the Graviton. Umte though surviving. Low HP but still around, but not for much longer. Hui finishes him off. Bermuda losing member after member, and they're not gonna invest anymore.
And that's gonna be the cleanup coming in for Montreal. And once again, they set up a great combo play there. The rally's out for Naga. He walks forward, gets the bubbles out, sets up the bash shatter. More ults out early than for Bermuda, and they can just grab late.
So now for Bermuda, they do have the combo in reserve. 2 minutes though have been burned off the clock, and Montreal on the support end, they do have the tools necessary to even things out.
They definitely do. Bermuda need to be looking for... the problem is if they use the combo here, Montreal has a chance to recontest. So they really want to try to only use one ult to win this fight if possible.
Oh, nice! Boop! Over the top, Tensa disrupting Bermuda's plan. In fact, gets a sort of reactionary barrier out of Bermuda as they desperately move in. Here comes the grab. Here comes the bomb over the top. 2 down. Bermuda still making it work. In Montreal, they use Transcendence away
might have saved this
from the main event.
This fight is saved now, even despite that beat and the combo coming out so late. Montreal used both support ults, and they were on stagger kills.
Montreal absolutely panicked there to the point that they know it's over. They don't even go for point A after that, and I feel like if Goliath could take that back, he probably would.
I think both Goliath and Tensa would hopefully take that back. I mean, they used both support ults.
Shatter, though, in from Nomi. A bit of quick redemption as 3 hit the ground. The follow-through immediately there. So Montreal, at least, back with an impact statement right after.
Bermuda, though, can be, I think, fairly happy about that. I mean, they get the rally, get the shatter out of Montreal early at the spawn door. Logic's going to be hiding close with a sneaky grab. Trying to set up on PT Demon does have...
Well, they're looking for a lot of resource investment right here at spawn. They're just looking for the heavy pressure here early. Hui's bomb to the back, going to get Umte. And it's just one off the combo, but it is enough to buy some time. Whether or not it's worth investing all this right now, we'll see. But they get good ults building right after. Logic's actually already up to 52% again.
Crazy ult build here from Logic's. Going to be dropping these right clicks in the spawn. Guru going to have that grab, but no combo. No combo up for Bermuda at this time. Really, it's going to be a grab to get the trans out of Goliath. Maybe even Umte's Shadow would be a better tool.
Logic's very high energy right now. Guru going to be opening up with a grab of his own. Umte moving forward, holding on to Shatter, looking for the charge, connects, Tensa down, but the Earth Shatter from Nomi in response. Going to be knocking down 2. Bermuda thrown back once more. 2 minutes left in the clock here on Rialto.
Problem with that charge connected with Umte is that it just opens up a metaphorical door for Nomi there to shatter the rest of Bermuda, which is exactly what it does. He sees Umte completing that charge, just drops the shatter, gets 3, cleans up the fight. And now Bermuda, they're sort of in crunch time. They're going to have that support ult ad with Montreal recognized. And they can choose to use this grab to get the support ult out, or they can just back up.
Montreal should wait here. Oh, what a boop! Oh, gee, setting Nomi Logix for a swim. And Bermuda, Masters of the Ocean this time around, going to be finding quite a bit more room.
OG, I mean, that was a huge boop. Not just winning the fight, but getting Naga, who was Naga. We didn't get Naga off it, but because he removes the barriers, Naga gets shattered. They lose the rally. So Bermuda, they're moving forward here. They have to be feeling great. They're held onto their support ults. They're going to have combo also very soon.
Montreal looking to defend for another minute 15. Naga getting chunked down very early in the fight. Logic's under pressure. Drops the grab. Hui right down the middle. Strike. Gonna find OG. Bermuda trying to turn it back. A graviton of their own. Shu laying down his self-destruct right in the middle, but shields are everywhere. They're protected from the self-destruct. Montreal moving it back the other way. Logic's onto the high ground. 90 energy. And this is how you build a grab pretty quickly towards the end of a fight.
And that was a much, I think I like Bermuda's idea, using the rally to back Montreal off the card, get those cooldowns out very early, maybe force ults. But they committed so hard into the room, they decided to use the combo, decided to use their support ults, and they didn't necessarily have a clear advantage.
Not quite in the way that I think they would have liked going into that fight. Montreal, though, on the verge of winning the series. 24 seconds left for Bermuda, heading to a fight that they must win.
Right now, they have to be very worried of the fact that Chris is going to be looking to boot off the high ground.
Umte walks up, drops a shatter, gets nothing. Montreal in an absolutely fine situation. Nomi now a shatter of his own. The rally's still active for Montreal. Bermuda, the final opportunity. Logic's onto the high ground. High energy about to have grab. Nomi moving forward, looking to drop the hammer right now. Desperately looking for the situation. Drops the hammer, knocks down Ultimate Weapon in the back. Ultimate Weapon though still totally fine. Logic's holding onto the grab. Graviton being used. Guru, a grab of his also involved. Both grabs used, but Montreal on top. Man advantage to them. But Bermuda fighting tooth and nail.
I mean, right now the support ults though, they're just so strong. OG gonna die. He's not able to get the beat off. Montreal now, they're winning the point.
Logic's with so much pressure onto the high ground where Zarya wants to be, picking up another 2. Montreal looking for their first victory here. They're gonna get it. Bermuda dispatched the series to Montreal.
Really just a lot better ult tempo there for Montreal at the end. Logic as well, like you talked about, sitting on the high ground doing so much damage. When Zarya is able to play tower defense and just sit on high ground and rotate, swivel, and do tons of damage without any focus, without any pressure, that's really when they're getting max value, and that's exactly what happened with Logic's there. And with OG going down, knowing that he couldn't get the beat off, I mean, it was just over.
I like how you call it tower defense, because there actually was a moment there where Logic's was not moving. He was just sitting there, no left-hand keyboard movement, just right hand, just beaming people down, assuming he's right-handed. I'm pretty
sure he is.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure I've seen him as right-handed. Like, it's not full assumption. It's just like, I feel like I'd remember if he was left-handed. But either way, one hand, not doing a whole lot of anything as he just sat there beaming people down.
Yeah, it was definitely a much better engagement from Montreal. And part of it because of the fact that they were moving into that initial fight down the support ults. They couldn't be aggressive because they had to fear Logic's grab. They get out of the trance, and then later Logic's situated on high ground, just doing so much damage. OG can't get beat. And it's just really, over time, a much better war for Montreal.
And also for Montreal, you think about how all of that worked out is that they bought so much time at the beginning of point B, where oftentimes it's hard to actually get good momentum there because the spawns are, of course, right there. Anytime you invest a combo, you're not getting as much as you do on other points on the map. But they were still able to make it work. It was very good pressure. They were generally outbuilding in terms of ults while just getting more value off combos. Across the board, Montreal just looking better than Bermuda here, and it shows in the results, 3-1.
It definitely does. And, I mean, with that, I think it signals the end of Bermuda's run, probably. Now they're just playing to impress. They're playing to, you know, just show that, you know, they improve as well, to improve as a team. So, because, remember, relegation's back.
It is.
Relegation is back, and also for academy teams as well. So not just for the non-academy teams. So it is something to be worried about. You need to make sure you keep on improving. Montreal now are going to be fighting for their lives to scrape their way into playoffs.
I just imagine incredibly snarky crabs just like dancing on up, going, relegation's back. It's like, well, it actually is.
It is.
But guys, you know what is going to be back? Overwatch. 2 more matches are left of the day. We do have to take a quick break, but when we come back, got more heading right at you.